Have you ever felt like the world is waiting to bring you down? Every street corner, every encounter, it seems like someone is always ready to disrespect you, annoy you, or even hurt you. But imagine this. The next time someone throws a rude comment your way, instead of getting angry or striking back, you stay so calm that they lose all power over your emotions, and you walk away more confident and grounded than ever. It may sound unbelievable, but it's entirely possible. And Stoicism is the tool that can help you achieve it. Stoicism, the ancient philosophy, doesn't just teach us to endure suffering in silence. It focuses on turning every challenge, especially acts of disrespect, into a springboard for personal growth. Stoicism emphasizes that true strength doesn't lie in changing the world around you, but in mastering how you feel, think, and act. It teaches us that your reactions, not the actions of others, determine your inner peace. Everyday life is full of moments that make us feel undervalued or disrespected. Stoicism teaches that it's our perception and reaction to these moments that determine our experience and inner state. By understanding that disrespect is a challenge, not a destiny, we can turn it into an opportunity to cultivate character and wisdom. In today's video, we'll dive into 10 Stoic lessons that can permanently change the way you deal with disrespect. These aren't abstract theories. They are practical strategies, proven over time, that help people turn negative reactions into controlled actions and transform challenges into strength. The first lesson is stay calm. One of the core principles of Stoicism is that we are not harmed by what happens to us, but by how we perceive it. When someone disrespects you, your natural reaction might be anger, frustration, or desire to retaliate. But Stoicism teaches that the actions of others are merely external events. They cannot define your worth unless you allow them to. Staying calm doesn't mean you accept or ignore disrespectful behavior. It's the ability to separate your emotions from the event, observing and responding with control. When you remain calm, you can choose actions based on reason rather than being driven by emotion. You won't say or do anything you'll later regret, and you maintain your dignity and self-respect. Moreover, staying calm allows you to view the situation objectively. You can recognize that the disrespect often stems from the other person's insecurity, pressure, or lack of understanding, not a personal attack. Realizing this, you are less likely to be hurt and may even respond with skill, intelligence, or even by using knowledge or humor. Practicing calmness is an ongoing process. It doesn't happen just once. It requires daily practice. Each time you face disrespect and remain calm, you strengthen your emotional control, cultivate emotional intelligence, and build a resilient inner self. Calmness isn't just the ability to control your emotions. It's also how Stoicism helps people view situations objectively. When calm, we not only protect our inner self, but also maintain clarity of thought, allowing us to analyze circumstances without being overwhelmed by negative emotions. This forms the foundation for developing emotional intelligence, reinforcing dignity, and building lasting mental strength. The next lesson is self-reflection. Stoics believe that the quality of our thoughts determines the quality of our lives, and that we must constantly improve ourselves and our actions. When faced with disrespect, looking inward helps you identify your role in the situation and gain a clearer understanding of how to respond appropriately. Self-reflection isn't about self-blame or assigning fault. It's an objective awareness of yourself in each situation. Stoics emphasize that everyone is responsible for their own thoughts and emotions. Questioning yourself helps distinguish between what truly matters and what is merely a fleeting reaction to external influences. This principle also fosters growth and wisdom. Stoics view self-reflection as a means to improve the quality of one's thinking, which in turn leads to sound decisions and actions aligned with virtue. Regular self-examination reinforces the understanding that we always have the power to choose our response, regardless of external words or behaviors. This is an essential part of the Stoic path of growth. It shapes how we perceive the world and others, while helping us preserve dignity, virtue, and inner peace. By applying this principle, we not only gain deeper self-understanding, but also develop the ability to face disrespect and challenges with calmness, composure, and steadiness. Another aspect of self-reflection is the ability to recognize the subtle reactions we often overlook. Stoicism emphasizes understanding the inner motives behind our emotions, allowing us to adjust our mindset so we're not controlled by external influences. Through this awareness, every experience becomes a lesson about ourselves, helping us cultivate wisdom and self-mastery. The third lesson is, learn to pause before reacting. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of controlling impulses and maintaining reason in every situation. When faced with disrespect, emotions like anger, frustration, or hurt often arise instantly. If we react based on those emotions, we can easily make unwise decisions and damage our own dignity. The principle of pausing before reacting helps us separate emotion from action, creating space for reason to take the lead. This is one of the key strategies for maintaining composure and analyzing situations objectively. Stoicism views control over one's reactions as a sign of inner strength and wisdom, allowing us to act in alignment with virtue and our core values. By pausing, we become aware that the disrespect of others cannot harm our true inner worth. This is how Stoics affirm their control over the inner self, refusing to let external circumstances dictate their emotions or actions. The principle also emphasizes that reacting instantly is often a sign of an undisciplined mind, while pausing allows us to respond with clarity and self-control. The pause before reacting is also an opportunity to evaluate the value of your actions before taking them. Stoicism teaches that decisions driven by fleeting emotions often lack virtue. When we pause, we can consider how to act in alignment with our principles and dignity, strengthening our inner stability and cultivating thoughtful, mature responses in any situation. The principle of pausing before reacting not only protects your dignity, but also strengthens emotional intelligence and the ability to face challenges calmly. It creates a space between external events and internal responses, allowing you to maintain stability in any situation. In Stoic philosophy, training the ability to pause is an essential part of developing character and building inner strength. By practicing this principle, we not only lessen the impact of disrespect, but also enhance our ability to maintain dignity, self-respect, and emotional balance in every circumstance. One of the key lessons of Stoicism is empathy, the awareness of the interconnectedness between people. When facing disrespect, Stoicism not only focuses on protecting inner peace, but also emphasizes the importance of empathy toward others. Empathy helps us understand that people's behavior often reflects their inner state, their insecurities, worries, or lack of understanding, rather than a personal attack. According to the Stoics, empathy is the ability to observe and understand the inner causes behind outward behavior. When we realize that disrespect often stems from another person's limitations or personal struggles, we free ourselves from being controlled by negative emotions. This allows us to remain composed and respond wisely, guided by reason and our own values. Stoicism views empathy as a component of both wisdom and virtue. By seeing others' behavior from their perspective, we can preserve our dignity, avoid anger or retaliation, and deepen our understanding of human nature. Empathy doesn't mean instant acceptance or forgiveness. It means developing a deeper awareness of the motives and circumstances that lead to such behavior. Empathy also broadens our understanding of people and society. When we recognize that every action has an inner cause, we not only maintain calmness, but also cultivate wisdom and compassion. Understanding the limitations and insecurities of others helps reduce irritation and strengthens our ability to act with virtue, in alignment with Stoic philosophy. Thus, empathy is a powerful tool for protecting inner peace, strengthening virtue, and enhancing emotional intelligence. When we apply this principle, we not only maintain tranquility, but also develop a deeper understanding of people in the world, turning experiences of disrespect into opportunities to cultivate character and Stoic qualities. Lesson 5, focus on virtue. The Stoics believe that virtue is the highest good in life and the true measure of a person's worth. When facing disrespect, the focus should not be on the other person's behavior, but on how we respond according to our own virtue. Focusing on virtue helps us maintain composure and dignity. Instead of being controlled by negative emotions triggered by disrespectful words or actions, Stoicism guides us to respond with reason and moral principles. This not only preserves our inner balance, but also strengthens our ability to act rightly and consistently with our core values. Stoicism views focusing on virtue as the way to shape our responses to any challenge. Virtue doesn't depend on others' recognition or attitudes. It resides in our ability to act rightly, guided by principle and reason. When we center our minds on virtue, every reaction becomes an opportunity to strengthen our character, rather than reacting out of fleeting emotion or external pressure. This doesn't mean ignoring or tolerating disrespect. Rather, it's the ability to act with reason while maintaining dignity and inner worth. This is how Stoicism turns uncomfortable situations into opportunities for character development, helping us not only protect ourselves, but also strengthen our wisdom, resilience, and virtue in every circumstance. Focusing on virtue also helps us stay grounded in any circumstance. When we prioritize actions guided by reason and virtue, we are no longer swayed by disrespectful words or behaviors from others. Stoicism sees this as a path to developing strength of character, enhancing emotional intelligence, and building lasting dignity in all relationships. Lesson 6. Acceptance. Life is full of situations beyond our control, and Stoicism emphasizes that accepting reality is essential for maintaining inner peace. When faced with disrespect, recognizing that other people's behavior lies outside your control helps reduce stress, prevent impulsive reactions, and preserve your composure. Acceptance in the Stoic sense doesn't mean agreeing with or approving of wrong behavior. It's the ability to recognize that life includes the imperfect actions and poor decisions of others. This awareness helps us direct our energy toward what we can truly control: our thoughts, emotions, and reactions, rather than being carried away by external influences that we cannot change. Stoicism draws a clear line between what is within our control and what lies beyond it. The actions, words, or disrespectful attitudes of others all fall into the category of what we cannot control. By understanding this, we conserve our mental energy, avoid unnecessary frustration and stress, and maintain our dignity and steadiness in any situation. The ability to accept also brings a sense of serenity and lightness to the mind. Realizing that not everything is within our control frees us from pressure and frustration. Stoicism emphasizes that inner peace can only be achieved by clearly distinguishing between what can be changed and what cannot, allowing us to live with clarity, calmness, and steadfastness in the face of any challenge. Through the practice of acceptance, Stoicism builds a solid foundation for facing life's challenges. Even when the outside world is chaotic or falls short of our expectations, the inner strength cultivated through acceptance allows us to remain stable, preserve our dignity, and develop self-mastery in every circumstance. Using humor is also an effective way to handle disrespect. In many uncomfortable situations, maintaining reason and emotional balance can be challenging. Stoicism suggests that humor can serve as a powerful tool to calm the mind and preserve composure in the face of disrespectful behavior. Stoic humor is not about mocking or degrading others. Instead, it creates a mental distance that prevents us from being swept up in negative emotions, allowing for clarity in judgment and action. When we view situations with lightness and a relaxed mindset, we not only stabilize our inner state, but also strengthen our ability to observe and analyze events objectively. This principle reflects the Stoic idea of emotional control. We always have the power to choose how we perceive events instead of letting emotions dictate our actions. Humor soothes anger, reduces mental tension, and restores balance, allowing our responses to align with virtue, reason, and personal values. In addition, humor helps maintain the cognitive distance needed to shield ourselves from negative external influences. Stoicism sees this as an essential part of staying mentally steady, preserving self-control, and protecting dignity in any situation. This distance not only reduces psychological pressure, but also strengthens emotional intelligence, enabling us to act with wisdom and composure. Using humor thoughtfully also allows us to view disrespect from a more objective perspective. When we are not ruled by impulsive emotions, we can protect our inner peace, maintain our dignity, and build resilience. In this way, Stoicism is not just an abstract philosophy. It's a practical tool for cultivating character, wisdom, and self-mastery in everyday life. Lesson 8. Set clear boundaries. When faced with disrespect, establishing boundaries not only protects your self-respect but also demonstrates your ability to control your emotions. It allows you to take charge of shaping relationships and interactions, preventing yourself from being swept away by anger or frustration, while maintaining composure and clarity in every situation. Setting boundaries doesn't mean lowering yourself or adopting a confrontational attitude. Stoicism emphasizes that firmness can coexist with calmness. When you understand your worth and assert the right to be treated with respect, your actions become clear and deliberate, reflecting inner control and preserved dignity. This is a sign of inner wisdom and mental strength, both highly valued in Stoic philosophy. Boundaries are also a tool for distinguishing between what is within our control and what is beyond it. We cannot change others' behavior or attitudes, but we can fully control our own reactions, emotions, and decisions. This separation not only protects our composure, but also strengthens virtue, allowing us to act with reason, rather than be driven by fleeting emotions. Moreover, clear boundaries help define personal values and guiding principles. When you know exactly which standards you must protect, every action and decision is grounded in reason and virtue, free from anger, fear, or external pressure. This is how Stoicism teaches us to live with autonomy, clarity, and integrity, even in the most challenging circumstances. Ultimately, maintaining strong boundaries is a means of developing character and inner strength. When faced with challenges or disrespect, boundaries help us preserve our inner stability, protect our dignity, and build lasting mental resilience. This becomes the foundation for living with steadiness, clarity, and self-mastery, turning every unpleasant experience into an opportunity to strengthen both courage and wisdom. Lesson 9. Forgiveness. This is a clear demonstration of deep inner strength, not a sign of weakness. In Stoic philosophy, forgiveness doesn't mean accepting wrongdoing or overlooking others' faults. On the contrary, it's a way to free yourself from negative emotions that can damage your spirit and dignity while maintaining self-control in the face of external influences. The ability to forgive reflects mastery over one's emotions and inner wisdom. Although we cannot change others' words or actions, controlling our own reactions allows us to preserve inner peace. By letting go of resentment and hatred, we free ourselves from negative attachments, maintain composure and dignity, and strengthen our ability to face challenges without losing our sense of self. Forgiveness is also an opportunity to reinforce virtue and cultivate personal values. When we choose to forgive, we practice patience, emotional intelligence, and compassion. This act of release not only protects our spirit, but also enhances our capacity to act with clarity and calmness, helping us build a strong, steady character that remains unshaken by hardship or disrespect. Stoicism emphasizes that forgiveness does not mean forgetting or accepting every wrongdoing. It is an intentional decision, one that releases emotional burdens, protects dignity, and allows us to live with virtue regardless of how others behave. Inner power is expressed through the ability to remain unaffected by others' actions or words. Furthermore, forgiveness helps cultivate emotional intelligence and compassion in our relationships. By letting go of resentment, we nurture mental stability, preserve our dignity, and enhance our ability to interact with others calmly and rationally. This is how Stoicism guides us to build enduring character, face challenges with serenity, and maintain inner peace in everyday life. The final lesson is, change your perspective. Seeing situations from multiple angles is one of the most powerful tools Stoicism offers. When faced with disrespect, shifting your perspective helps you recognize that another person's behavior does not define your inner worth or dignity. This is a crucial step in maintaining inner strength and mental peace. The ability to reframe your perspective also helps regulate emotional reactions. Stoicism teaches that it's not external events that harm us, but how we interpret them. When we recognize that disrespectful words or actions are merely temporary influences that do not reflect who we truly are, we experience less stress, maintain calmness, and handle situations with greater clarity and wisdom. Additionally, changing your perspective helps cultivate wisdom and virtue. Every unpleasant experience becomes an opportunity to strengthen character, build patience, self-control, and emotional intelligence. Instead of reacting impulsively, We learn to analyze, evaluate, and choose our response based on reason and core values. Stoicism also teaches that understanding the limitations and insecurities of others helps us view disrespect more objectively. Such behaviors often stem from their emotions, narrow perspectives, or inner struggles. When we recognize this, we avoid being swept up in anger, maintain calmness and dignity, and strengthen our ability to act rationally and with self-control. Finally, changing your perspective directs your focus toward what truly matters in life: virtue, self-worth, and meaningful purpose. When you channel your energy and attention into these values, you are no longer influenced by negative external forces. This focus helps you maintain calmness, dignity, and inner strength in any situation, turning every unpleasant experience into an opportunity for growth and character development. Through the journey of exploring 10 Stoic lessons, we come to realize that disrespect is not something we can control externally. It is an opportunity to strengthen our inner self, dignity, and virtue. Each principle, from staying calm, self-reflection, pausing before reacting, and practicing empathy, to focusing on virtue, acceptance, humor, setting boundaries, forgiveness, and changing perspective, all lead to one goal: helping us maintain composure and emotional control, no matter what external circumstances may arise. These lessons are not abstract philosophy. They are practical tools for developing character and emotional intelligence. When applied, we are no longer driven by impulsive reactions or negative emotions, but instead learn to respond through reason, virtue, and personal values. Stoicism shows us that true strength lies in mastering the inner self, preserving dignity, and responding with calm composure in every circumstance. What's important to understand is that every experience of disrespect is an opportunity for growth. Instead of feeling hurt or becoming a victim of negative behavior, we can turn these moments into exercises in patience, wisdom, and compassion. This mindset not only protects our inner peace, but also enhances our ability to interact positively with others, build healthier relationships, and strengthen personal resilience. Remember, practicing Stoicism is not a one-time event. It's a continuous journey. Every moment of calm, every act of forgiveness, every boundary set, and every shift in perspective is a step toward building a stronger inner self and lasting dignity. With consistent practice, we become stronger, more self-controlled, and more composed versions of ourselves. If you found these lessons helpful, please hit like to show your support and share this video with others who are learning how to deal with disrespect. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss upcoming videos on Stoic philosophy, personal growth, and practical tools for maintaining inner peace.